really is. So we've had a lot of success with this product lately, and even more so with the current situation. But we hope that you can watch this webinar and find some use for it too. And if you have any questions after this, feel free to reach out to your underwriter, myself, or anyone else on this call. So thanks, everyone, and I'm going to turn it back over to USLI.
Great. Thanks, Ben. Okay, so as we get started here, we are going to start with our presentation on the CPL product. So what I'm going to do is hand that over to our product leader, Laura DeTore. She is going to go over what that product looks like, all the benefits that it brings to you. Then we'll get into the instant quote product, the phone quoting, and all the benefits and resources that I'll provide to you all as well. We'll do a phone demonstration to give you a real-time look at how easy it is to call it and get a quote with USLI, what you can expect after the call. We'll look at some of the top products, and we'll do a web chat feature discussion with Kelsey. And then again, we'll answer any questions you may have throughout the presentation. Please feel free to answer or to ask any questions. We do have a Q&A box there available to you as well. So with that said, Laura, I will hand it over to you.
Sure. Thanks, Jonathan. So as Jonathan mentioned, I am going to talk to you about our Comprehensive Personal Liability product. This is one of our top products on the personal line side. It is a standalone liability-only policy. So there is no property coverage provided with it. It's just for those insureds who need liability-only coverage. We offer limits up to $1 million on the primary layer, and there's no aggregate or deductible. It's strictly occurrence-based, so you're never going to max out with like a $1 million occurrence, $2 million aggregate. You don't have to worry about that, and you don't have to worry about any sort of deductible or self-insured retention. Coverage for this would kick in at $1. Every CPL policy comes included with $5,000 towards medical payments to others, and every CPL policy includes personal injury up to the full policy limit. So personal injury is going to include such things as libel, slander, wrongful eviction, things that are really important for someone to have coverage for, especially given the current day and age. It's very easy to get sued now, especially for things involving the internet, or even if you're a landlord. Coverage for things such as wrongful eviction, wrongful entry, invasion of privacy, they all fall under personal injury, and they all fall under coverage with the CPL policy. So where does USLI fill the gaps? We can consider entities other than just an individual. So it could be a corporation, an LLC, a trust, or a state. We just want the entity to be set up for residential real estate purposes. So if someone's got a contracting company and then they buy a house and maybe they're putting their employees in it, that's not a fit. But we want someone, maybe they set up the LLCs just for tax purposes. For the rental properties, that is exactly what we want to see under this product. I do keep mentioning rental properties. Rental properties are what we see the most of under this product countrywide. When it comes to the West Coast, particularly California, we do see a large number of owner-occupied locations just because most insureds are getting their coverage for property from the state. For rental properties, though, we can consider annual and short-term rentals. So if they've got a tenant in there who's been living there for 10 years, great. Or if they list their home on Airbnb or VRBO or some other website like that, that's also eligible. Aside from rental properties, maybe someone owns a second home somewhere and they just need the liability coverage for it. That would be a fit. Same with a plot of vacant land. Maybe they bought this piece of land and they just go and like hike on it, camp on it by themselves in the summer, or maybe they have plans to build a home on it in the future, or they once had a home on it and they lost it in a wildfire. They don't know what they're going to do with it anymore. That's where vacant land coverage under the CPL would be a really good fit. We can do single family homes, homes up to 4 families, or condo units. They all fall under the scope of this product. And as I mentioned, this is a great option for someone who has standalone property in state-run programs or homes under construction. Maybe they've got a builder's risk policy somewhere and they just need liability for their own personal interest in the home, whether it's under construction or under renovation. this would be a really good product for them with the coverages that they need. So what are the advantages of getting a CPL product or policy with us? We include dog liability for most breeds. We do exclude some vicious breeds that are known to cause harm to others, but for dogs that are not part of that list, we provide limits up to the full policy limit. We can include property managers as an additional insured. We don't charge for them. Additional insureds are free. We can cover pools up to the full policy limits. We just ask that either the pool is fenced or the property itself is fenced. Host liquor liability is included. So if someone's hosting a party, maybe it's a graduation party for their child, and someone leaves, had too much to drink, they get into an accident, their policy is going to provide coverage for them. God forbid they get sued by that person. We can include up to 15 locations on our CPL policy. So if they own more than 15 locations, it's still a fit within USLI, but our commercial team would be able to look at that. It wouldn't necessarily fit on personal lines. We are not admitted in most states, but we are admitted in California, North Carolina, and South Carolina, where we can offer direct bill. And obviously, as we're going to get into, this product is eligible for web quoting and binding. So our big brother to the CPL product is the excess CPL. So maybe someone's got primary limits somewhere and they just need higher limits. We can offer up to $5 million in most states. We are now capping at $1 million on the excess in California as well as Florida. We follow form coverage over the primary policy. So if something's going to be included on their primary policy, it would be included on the excess CPL. Same goes for something's excluded on the primary policy. We would exclude coverage for that as well. So who would need the excess CPL? This is ideal for maybe someone who has rental locations and they can't add them to their umbrella. Maybe their umbrella is a package. They've got their primary home, their auto, the umbrella, and they just can't add the rental locations to that. We consider this like an umbrella for rental locations. It's also fit for certain exposures that are, sorry, I just lost my train of thought. I apologize for that. This is great for policies where the primary limits are capping at $500,000. For some reason, maybe that's as high as the primary carrier will go, and they just need higher limits than that. This is where we would offer up to $5 million in most of those states, or maybe someone's just got $100,000 and they need an extra $200,000 to get them to their umbrella limit for the minimum requirement. That's where the excess CPL would come in. And then what can we consider on the excess CPL? It's pretty much the same as the Comprehensive Personal Liability policy, so we can include various named insureds, including the LLC, the corporation, 1 to 4 family homes or condos, homes under construction or renovation. We can consider vacant homes on the excess policy. They're not eligible on the CPL if they're just sitting vacant with no intent to sell or occupy or provide renovations for. But for excess CPL, we can consider homes that are just sitting vacant with no plans for them. Mobile homes, slabs within RV lots, and vacant land, those are all eligible for full policy limits. And we can also, in instances where people need the primary and the excess layers, we can provide coverage for both layers. So we can do the primary and the excess. So in California, where I mentioned we're capping at $1 million, we could do $1 million on the primary and $1 million on the excess. We just only can offer $1 million per layer. So that is the end of my portion. We're going to move on to the instant phone quote portion.
Terrific. Thanks so much, Laura. Really great product for you all to try out with us. Now we want to shift gears a little bit. We're going to talk about our instant quote platform. Right now, we're going to focus on the phone quoting platform. And the message we really want to communicate to you all here is that it is the quickest way to get a quote. In the industry, we feel very confident in telling you that. We have a strong track record, as Ben mentioned, with helping our wholesalers and their retailers grow with that small to mid-sized business using this platform. So to call in and get a quote through us with Union General, that number is 844-244-1120, and you'll be connected with one of our 65-plus underwriters who are ready to assist you. So what that will look like when you call in, those underwriters will ask you for key rating information, generally 5 to 7 eligibility questions determined by which product you're looking to get quoted. And those questions have been selected so that we can generate a firm premium for you so that you can have a firm presentation to provide to the insured, to the applicant in regards to the premium, so that won't be fluctuating when you go back to them. Another aspect of it is we'll be able to send you a pre-filled application. So all of that information that you provided to us over the phone will go directly onto a pre-filled application. We'll provide a copy of that to you as well as the quote. So really all that's left for you to get done is to verify the application, get that signed, and sent back to us. We want to set you all up for success. We want to put you in the strongest position possible to turn that business around quickly. We all know from a sales perspective, oftentimes first in is what gets bound. So we want to help you do that as quickly as possible. If we can't quote a risk with USLI when you call in, and this is important, we will get you back over to Union General, and they'll be able to explore the numerous other options with other carriers that they have at their disposal. So we won't ever decline that on Union General's behalf. We will remarket you over to them if it's not a fit with USLI. One of the biggest benefits that this platform will be able to offer you is that it saves you time. So we do not need an accord form when you call in. We don't need anything like that completed. Simply just call in, have really what's surface level information on the risk available to you. And again, we'll send you that pre-filled application when that's done. So a lot of that work is already finished for you. Another great benefit is that you can call in really wherever you're at. Now, really during the pandemic, most of us are at home or close to home. So we're able to call from there. But under normal circumstances, if you're on the road, if you're at an event, if you're at a birthday party, and you get that information in on a risk, that you want to add to your book, you can simply just call that number at any time and talk to one of our underwriters. Now, they are available extended hours. So Pacific time, it is 4 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Fridays. So again, available early in the morning, and also on Saturday as well, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. You can call that number and access us. So what I'm going to do now is put you all briefly on hold. I'm going to call in to our instant phone quote team using that number with Union General, 844-244-1120. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to get a quote over the phone. So I got to put you all on hold for one moment and connect us now.
Hi, this is Reggie. How may I assist you?
Hey, Reggie, this is Jonathan Chernoff with the Instant Quote Marketing Team. I'm here doing a webinar in partnership with Union General. Want to know if you can help us get a quote for a trucker's GL risk in California?
Okay, yeah, we can definitely do that for you. And what is going to be the name of the applicant on this one that you want to use?
That's going to be Test.
All right, perfect. And any losses or claims in the past 3 years?
No losses or claims.
Okay. And what is going to be the address for them?
The address is going to be 123 Main Street, and the zip code 91105.
All right, perfect. And liability, were you looking for the $1 million, $2 million limit?
Yeah, let's go with that. Thank you.
And how many power units do they have?
It's going to be 3 units. One thing I did want to ask, are we able to cover like an Amazon driver, like as an exposure for future reference?
Yeah, we can consider that under this product.
Okay, terrific. Thank you. Yeah, just 3 units.
Okay, perfect. And then any type of appliance delivery or installation or residential or commercial moving?
Something of that nature.
Okay. And do they need a blanket additional insured for their operations?
They do not.
All right, perfect. Let me go ahead and generate this for you here. So it's going to be admitted with United States Liability Insurance, AM Best Rating A++. We have the 3 power units, liability at $1 million, $2 million, and the premium comes out to $826 for the year, and that's eligible for direct bill 3 payments.
All right, terrific. Thanks so much, George. I think that's everything we needed. Appreciate it again. You have a good rest of the day, okay?
Yep, you too. Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, everyone. So as you can see, very easy to get quoted up. That was a Truckers GL quote. One product that we are seeing an increase of as well during this pandemic. So again, just give it a try. Many of our products are that easy to quote over the phone. You'll get a copy of the quote. You'll get that pre-filled application and be ready to get that turned around, piece of business turned around that quickly. And if you're viewing the presentation, you'll be able to see here a marketing piece that we put together for you all with Union General. This shows all the 55 products that we're able to quote over the phone. So again, we will send that out after the presentation for all you to have. Very good resource, market piece to have in your office, just available to you so that you're able to dial that number quickly. And as we can see here, the other items we mentioned, no quote forms needed, the extended hours. So again, we will send that out to you at the end of the presentation. So we discussed already that we will be getting a copy of the pre-filled application, copy of the quote after that is done. Union General will also receive a copy of the quote. So that way when you're able to get that bound, if it is quickly, they'll have that all ready and set to go with you when you contact them. So just to reiterate, all bind requests will have to be sent to Union General. They cannot be sent directly to USLI. And here's just a friendly picture of our instant phone quote underwriting team. I sat next to this team for years when I was a personal lines underwriter myself. I can tell you that they've heard it all. They're very knowledgeable, product savvy. A lot of them have been on the retail side themselves. So they're able to level with you, understand when you're coming from, discuss risks in depth, and help find a home for you, either with USLI or, again, remarket that back to Union General for you in order to find a fit for you. So with that said, I will hand it over to Kelsey. She's going to be presenting the web quoting portion of this presentation at uniongeneral.com. So with that said, Kelsey, I will go ahead and hand this over to you.
Thanks, Jonathan, and good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us this morning. So you've heard from Laura about our CPL product. You heard from Jonathan about phone quoting, and I'm going to talk a little bit about web quoting as an option for you with USLI through Union General. So you can see here, if you haven't saved that phone number in your phone already, just definitely suggest while we're on this slide, go ahead and pull your phone out and save that phone number. But you also have the option to quote online. And it's one that we like to highlight. We really consider our instant quote team to be phone and web quoting. We really like to highlight web quoting as well because we realize that, especially during this time, that may be a better option for you. We're all about options here at USLI. Personally, I have 3 little kids running around at home, and sometimes getting on a phone call is just impossible during the day because they're screaming in the background. So I found that, doing things virtually and online can sometimes be a better option for some of you and, those of us who are at home during this time. So what we'll do, just want to talk a little bit about web chat. But first, what I'm going to do is actually show you how to get a quote with us through Union General's website. So I'll share my screen with you. And John, can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right, great. All right, so here we are on Union General's website, and we're actually going to go down to online raters. Really quick and easy way to get a quote with USLI here. You can see we're right at the top of the page, and you can click this button, USLI Online Raters.
once you get here, this is what we call our USLI landing page. It actually gives you information about several of our products. There's a search functionality here where you can enter class description or a numeric class code to pick up what you're looking for. So, for example, if you're looking to quote a bakery and you're not exactly sure how we would classify that, you can type in bakery. What I suggest for anybody using the search functionality, less is more. So if you type in BAK, you're going to come up with more results than if you're going to type the whole word bakery. So just a quick tip on using that search functionality. But then also below, you can see as you scroll down, all of these are actually links. They're drop-down menus to select any product within our 5 lines that we offer here at USLI. So you can see commercial, all the products available for you, and so on and so forth. So today what we'll quote is a CPL, like Laura talked about. And so we'll go into personal and then comprehensive personal liability. I'm already logged in here, but if I was not, you would actually come to a screen where you would be given the option to log in. If you haven't quoted with USLI before, on the on the left-hand side, there's an option to go ahead and create an account for yourself. If you were to do that, you want to just put your agency number in the agency name portion so that Union General can know who you are and who to credit the submission to. So once we're in, just a couple things to point out on this page. So you can see there is an orange chat icon in the upper left-hand corner as well as the phone number. That information will be available for you in that same spot throughout the whole quoting process. So should you have any questions, you need some assistance, that chat feature is actually connects to the instant quote team, those same hours of operation that they're available for the phone. So if you have any questions, you can chat with an underwriter and they can assist you. You also have the option with the chat feature to leave a message. So if it's during an hour that we're not available here on Instant Quote, you can leave a message and that underwriter will reach out to you the next business day. So we'll quote this as a single family home. We'll say it's not vacant. We'll say there's no losses or claims in the past 4 years, but I do want to point out there is an unknown option here. If you're not sure if they've had any losses or claims, any question that has an unknown option can be left as unknown. You can continue through the quote and you can still get a quote. You'll just need to answer that question prior to binding. All right, so we'll quote this in Beverly Hills, because it's the only California zip code I know. And we'll say this is owner occupied. We are okay with owner or tenant occupied risk, as Laura talked about. Again, here you can see there's many questions that you can leave as unknown. We would suggest just answering as many of them as you can to the best of your ability. There are some rate-bearing questions on here, so you want to answer them, as many of them as you can, but you can go ahead and leave those as unknown and still get a quote. So we'll say no to any renovations, no student housing, no domestic employees, and we'll say no farming or hunting on premises as well. So you can see as we scroll down here that chat icon is still available for you to chat in as well. If you have any questions about what the question's asking, you need a little bit of help, that's a place where you can answer those questions. All right, so 3 screens later, we have a quote. So you can see your quote number is here. It's with United States Liability Insurance Company on admitted paper. Total premium is $365. It's for $1 million limit. We do offer lower limits as well. You can select that on the previous screen. As you scroll down, you can see that there's a bunch of these red links down here that actually show the forms and endorsements attached to the policy, attached to the quote. You can click on any of these. They open in a separate PDF tab, and you can read through any of those if you have questions. Also at the top, I want to point out all of these black bullets are actually links, so you can print the quote letter, the quote summary. You can email that to yourself, or you can go back and edit the quote. So if you wanted to edit the liability limits, for example, you only needed $300,000, that would be a place where you can go back and edit that quote. You also have the option to continue to complete. That will take you through any remaining underwriting questions, and you can submit that as well. So at this point, we'll go back to our presentation. And just another quick note about web chatting. So when you're quoting online, you have the option to web chat with any one of our instant quote underwriters immediately. So that would be, if you have questions, if you're not sure what the question's asking, or especially if you get an underwriting submit. So there may be a time when you're quoting online and for whatever reason, your submission requires a little bit more underwriting review before we can release terms. If that's the case, you'll get a screen that actually says your submission requires review, take an action here. So in that screen, you have three options. You can either chat or call in, or you can also continue to submit electronically via paper application. We definitely recommend that if you have the time at that point, to chat or call in. Typically, our underwriters can work in real time to turn that submission into a quote and send you that pre-filled application right on the spot. There may be times where, it's not something that we can quote here at USLI, so they would refer you back to Union General for other options. Or if it's something that does require a paper application because we just want to look at it a little bit further, they'll work with you on that process as well. So definitely recommend utilizing those instant quote underwriters through phone or chat if you got to submit, or anytime you just have any questions, they can work with you very, very quickly and efficiently to get that submission turned around to a quote for you. All right, and at this time, I'll turn it back over to Jonathan for any closing remarks and open it up for questions.
Okay, thanks, Kelsey. So again, we touched on a number of really good options for you all with the phone quoting, the web quoting. We discussed our CPL product, what that'll cover for your insureds if you're looking to get that product through USLI and Union General as well. I do want to encourage you all to just give us a shot over the phone. Again, it'll connect you with one of our 65-plus underwriters ready to assist you, 844-244-1120. With that said, that is our presentation. Do want to thank everyone for joining us, investing your time here to learn about these platforms, to learn about this product. And again, since you have invested your time here, I do want to encourage you to give it a shot. I think you'll find very quickly that we practice what we preach. It's a very important tool for your books in order to bring in business quickly, get it turned around quickly. So again, want to encourage you all to really give it a shot, whether that's on the phone, online. We want you to feel as comfortable as possible quoting with us. So again, thank you. I want to thank Ben and Union General for partnering with us on this and bringing all this information to you all. And with that said, I'll wait here for about another minute or so just to answer any questions that may come in. And that is our presentation. So again, thank you all. Stay safe, stay healthy, and have a good rest of the day.